Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. Today I will be making some home decor DIYs using these Dollar Tree bamboo cutting boards. So I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you do, please give it a thumbs up, and now let's craft.
The materials I will be using for this DIY, I'm using 4 of the Dollar Tree bamboo cutting boards, 2 paint stir sticks, and this Dollar Tree pencil holder. I'm going to start by removing the plastic from all 4 of the bamboo cutting boards, and I'm going to line them up. Now I am going to make a space in between each one of them, and I'm using some dowels as spacers. Then I'm going to use the Dollar Tree wood glue and a little bit of hot glue to glue the paint stir sticks right on top. I'm going to remove the dowels and flip it around. And this is how it looks. Next, I'm going to paint the pencil holder using this white spray paint. And I'm going to paint the boards using the Reversible antique wax. I'm going to add a little bit of water, and then before it dries, I'm going to use a wet napkin and remove some of that paint just to make it a little bit lighter. And look how beautiful this color is. Now you can add whatever you want to the sign. What I'm adding is the word home, and I'm using these Hobby Lobby stickers that I already had. As you can see, I already used some of them, so I didn't have all the letters I needed. So what I decided to do is use the little sticker part as a stencil instead. So to do that, I'm going to cut them individual. Then I am going to remove the sticker part and place the letter in each board. I am only doing the H, M, and E. Once I had all the letters, then I started to paint them, and I'm using my Reversible chalk paint in white. Once I had finished, I just removed the stencil before it dried. That is because I didn't want it to get stuck to it. I then went ahead and finished the rest of the letters. Look how beautiful it's already looking. Now to finish this off, I'm going to add the little pencil holder, and this is going to work as the O. Now the best part about this DIY is that you can use this all year round by just switching the greenery. I felt that the pencil holder was too plain, so I decided to add some of the Dollar Tree leather ribbon and a tiny burlap bow. And that is it for this home decor sign. I think it turned out beautiful. Now to hang it to the wall, I did add some sawtooth hooks to the back. For this DIY, I will be using one of the Dollar Tree plastic baskets. This is already gray, but it does look plastic, so I decided to spray paint this using this metallic color, and I'm going to go and spray paint it. And this is how it looks. It looks so much better. It actually looks like a metallic. Now I didn't spray paint the bottom since I am going to add 2 of the Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. I will be reusing one of them because I only had one left. I'm going to go ahead and stain these using the Reversible antique wax. Once they were dry, all I did was just place them inside the basket. I didn't glue them or anything, or even I didn't even glue both of them together either. All I just did was place them because they fit there perfectly. And now I'm going to make candles. I will be using the Dollar Tree faux leather ribbon in the color dark brown. I love it. It matches the antique wax. Now I'm going to add the other handle to the other side, and that is it for this decorative tray. I think it turned out beautiful and it looks so high-end, and it was so easy and inexpensive to make. I will be using some of these Dollar Tree bamboo cutting boards. Now I only found 5 for this project. I will be using 4. To paint the cutting boards, I will be using the Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. I did add a little bit of water since this was too thick and it was too dark. I didn't want it to be that dark. Even after adding water, it was still too dark, so I did use a napkin to remove some of the paint. I will be painting the rest of the cutting boards using the same technique. The next thing I will be using is this Dollar Tree wall decal. Now this decal has 4 images, and I will be adding an image to each bamboo cutting board. To hang these up, I will be adding sawtooth hooks to the backs, and that is it, guys. Look how beautiful this turned out.
I will be using 6 of these cutting boards. The ones I'm using are being reused. I'm going to make a large sign, so I'm going to glue these together, but first I'm going to flip them around because I will be adding some popsicle sticks to the back. I'm going to glue these side by side, but I'm going to glue them like going up using this piece of popsicle stick so I can measure so they can be nice and straight. For extra support, I will be adding some popsicle sticks to the back. I'm going to flip this around and paint it. I'm using the Waverly chalk paint in the color black, and I'm adding a little bit of water. I'm going to use a napkin to wipe some of the excess off, but because I used a wipey, it was a little bit of wet and it took off more than what I wanted, so I just went ahead and added more paint. Now I'm going to let it dry, then I'm going to flip it around and add some of these sawtooth hooks. I will be adding some greenery, and I'm using 2 of these Walmart picks. I'm going to cut off the stems, and then I'm going to tie two of the stems together, so I am going to make 6 little bushes. I will be adding 1 of the little picks to each cutting board, and I'm not gluing this. Instead, I'm going to use a stapler. To decorate this some more, I am adding some bows, and I'm using this Walmart ribbon that I had. I'm going to make a total of 6 bows and then just glue them. And that is it. Look how beautiful this turned out.
My next project is going to be inspired by something I have done before. I'm going to use 4 of these Dollar Tree bamboo cutting boards. This project is going to be vertical instead of horizontal like the one I have done before. I'm going to have it linked down in the description box just in case you want to check that out. That one turned beautiful as well. To glue these together, I'm going to add some large popsicle sticks on the back. Now, one mistake I did was not to glue the board side by side first. And I actually realized that until I had to glue like 5 or 6 popsicle sticks already, which I tried to fix that by just adding a lot more popsicle sticks to make it more sturdy. Since this was the first DIY I did, but I put it at the end of my video, I didn't get to show you earlier how I mixed the colors I have been using, which was the Waverly Antique Wax, the Apple Barrel Acrylic Paint in black, and chestnut, which made that beautiful color I have been using. Now, when I first used this, since this was the first one, it came out a little bit darker, but I did add a little bit more of the chestnut to make it lighter. My sign, it is going to be white, but I went with this color first because I am going to do that reversible stencil. To do the reversible stencils, I use my Cricut instead because I have been using the large sticker letters that I got from Hobby Lobby, but I didn't have an L anymore or an E either. So instead, I decided to use my Cricut and cut out the L, the V, and the E. Now I'm not doing the O since I'm going to just make a wreath instead. Now that I have my letters, I'm going to use some white chalk paint to paint the entire thing. Now I didn't paint this perfect because I still wanted some of that brown to peek through to make this more of a farmhouse. And once I have done painted everything, I'm going to remove the stickers. So this is what reversible stencil means. And look how beautiful this looks. I did want some of that brown to show more, so I used a scent sheet to sand out all the edges, but I did it very smoothly since I didn't want some of the bamboo color to show. I only wanted the brown. Now to make the wreath, I'm using this great fine little wreath that I got from Amazon. I'll also have that link down in the description box in case you want to check them out. So I am going to take this apart because these are small and I want this to be a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take this apart. This is wrapped with some wire around it. So that is the first thing you need to remove. Then you just start spreading it and detangling it. Once you have all of the parts detangled, some do come together. So I think it was like 3 parts that I had. And I started by the one that had the less little things. And I started forming the wreath just a little bit bigger than the one I had before. Once I had the first one, then I started with the other one and then the other one until I had all of them formed. Once I had all of them, I used the same little wire to just tie them around. For the greenery, I used this boxwood greenery. I took some stems off. Now I was going to glue these, but then I just used each little stem and just weeded through the wire, and that is how I made my little wreath, which I think it turned out beautiful. Now to hang it, I did add a little clear hook to the sign, and that is it for this beautiful love sign. For my next DIY, I will be reusing this Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. I did paint this using the Waverly Antique Wax. And I'm going to use these little latte or coffee little cup thingies. These are from Dollar Tree as well. I'm only using 1 and 8 come in a pack. I'm going to start by drawing where like the whipped cream is at in the cup, and then I'm going to paint the cup using the sunset, the golden sunset color, and then like the whipped cream, I'm going to paint it white. So after this was dry, I didn't like how that looked, like the hole on top, so I decided to add some spackle all over. And I didn't even let this dry either. All I did was just paint over it using some white chalk paint. I went back to Cricut Design Space and I looked for an image that said pumpkin spice and a little pumpkin. I did size it down first to the size of the bamboo cutting board, then I printed it out. I am going to start by transferring the little pumpkin to the mug first, and then I'm going to transfer the word pumpkin spice to the cutting board. So looking at the little mug, I thought it looked too plain. So using the same vinyl, I didn't print anything out. I just cut two little stripes and I did add them to the mug, like one on top of the pumpkin and one underneath it. And that is it, guys. That is it for this pumpkin spice sign. I think it will look so beautiful on a coffee bar. For my next DIY, I will be using this Dollar Tree bamboo cutting board. I'm going to remove the plastic and stain this using the Waverly Antique Wax. This DIY is inspired by my friend Lionette, DIY Beauty on Purpose. She recently did one of these, but she did make a bigger version. So I'll have that video down in the description box so you can definitely go check it out. I am going to use a paper to stain this, or a napkin, I'm sorry. And I ended up switching it to a paintbrush because I realized that the paper soaked too much of the antique wax and I was wasting so much. So I switched it. The next thing I did was print a deer head out. All I did was go to Google and search free printable head, or free head, free head deer printable, or free printable head deer, something like that. I forgot what I searched, but I did end up cutting the paper just so like that it's easier for me to center it when I do transfer this. To scribble the back, I will be using chalk, and once I'm done doing that, I'm going to place the paper where I want my deer to go. Then with a pencil, I'm going to start tracing it. Another thing you can use is a Cricut. I'm pretty sure it's a lot faster and easier. Since I don't have one, I am transferring this. And I'm going to paint this using a small paintbrush and white chalk paint. Before I add the greenery, I decided to make a hole. This is going to be where I add a piece of juice string and some beads. If you don't have a drill and you can't make a hole like this one, you can always just use a piece of juice string and glue it to the back if you want to hang this. Or you don't even have to hang this, you can just use a stand for this. The beads I will be using are from Walmart. This pack, well, it didn't come in this little container. I actually got this little container from Dollar Tree. But I did get all of these beads from Walmart, and they were like, I'm not sure if it was like, I don't know, 300 pieces or 500 pieces for under $6. And I have been using these and I still have a lot left, so I think it is worth it to buy them. Plus they are beautiful colors. The next thing I did was just grab a piece of juice string and put it through the hole, then add some beads, just like my first DIY. For the greenery, I will be using the same pick I used in my first DIY. I'm going to remove 2 stems off, one for each side, and I felt like they were too big, so I did end up cutting them, and I made it to where it only has 2 of the little stems. The next thing I will be doing is gluing it to my sign. After that, I'm going to add a juice string bow I made to the center, and I decided to add another bow right on top of that, and I'm making it out of this burlap ribbon. I got this from Michael's. I then went ahead and added the bow and added 2 pine cones underneath that. And that is it for this deer decor sign. It is one of my favorites. I think it turned out beautiful.
I'm going to use 3 of these bamboo cutting boards. These are from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to start by removing the wrapper. Alright, so this is going to be a 3-piece set. Starting with my first cutting board, I'm going to paint the sides with some black chalk paint. I'm using these little sponges that I got from the Dollar Tree. At first, I tried to be careful and not to paint like the top part with the black, but at the end, I just kind of distressed the edges with the black. Now I'm going to use the Waverly Antique Wax to paint the top part of this cutting board, removing some of the excess paint with this shirt. For the other 2 cutting boards, I'm going to paint the top part black and the sides with the antique wax. Now that everything's dry, I'm going to start decorating the cutting board, starting with the one that's going to be for the middle one. Is this one that I painted with the antique wax at the top. I'm going to add Let It Snow using these poster sticker letters that I got from Family Dollar. Now these are a little bit smaller than the ones that Dollar Tree carries, plus the font, it's a lot nicer, well, at least for me it is. I was going to add Let Us Know more in the middle, but I decided to move it more down to add some greenery at the top. Now, as you can see, I didn't add the O. That is because I'm going to add one of these snowflake stickers that I got from the Dollar Tree. They were kind of glittery and I painted over them with white so it can remove the glitter. Now I'm going to add the greenery, which I'm using this one right here that I got from Walmart. I'm actually using 2 different ones. I'm going to start by adding this first. Then I'm going to add this other different one right here, which I cut in half so I can use one on each side. To finish this off, I will be adding this bow that I already had. And look how beautiful this one turned out. Moving on to the other 2 cutting boards, I'm going to add these beautiful snowflakes. Now I got these from Dollar General. They were just $1 each. These are some Christmas ornaments. I removed the string, and where the string was at, there was like this little hole, so I cut that off. The next thing I did, I just glued them one on each little cutting board, and that is it. Look how beautiful this 3-piece set Let Us Know sign turned out. And that is it. I really hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comment section which one was your favorite, because I would love to know. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.